Hi guys! Today I am sharing with you a project for Retro Hit Magazine, and I am using a new sponsor for the magazine. It is called Studio 40, and it is a company based in Poland. Monica there has graciously sent over a ton of goodies. In fact, there's more than is even pictured here. She sent about 3 different collections. So I had a ton to work with. Fun TN papers and 6x8 paper pads, epoxy stickers, flair, journaling cards, you name it, she sent it. So today I'm going to be working with the 6x8 size, but there you'll see the TN size. I have already started by grabbing 2 pieces of patterned paper, and I've cut out this intricate floral cut, and I've just backed it with foam squares onto a piece of patterned paper from the 6x8 pack. And I've chosen this great striped paper and then just flipped it on its end for both sides of my spread. So now I'm just grabbing my photos here, which I've pre-backed with some pretty polka dot paper from the paper pack as well. So I'm just deciding here how I want to put these 2 photos on my page here. And I decide I'm going to add a little bit of this chipboard stickers for my title, and I want to do something about the weekend. So you'll notice the best thing about these chipboard stickers, which I was not expecting whatsoever, is that they are stuck in this chipboard pack, but they still have a white removable like paper on the back so that you don't have to stick them down right away, which I love. So it was great to be able to just position that on my page without actually having to stick them down yet. So now I've pulled these clear word stickers, and I am going to put Fabulous Weekend, which is what that little chipboard sticker says, and then Together. So these 2 photos are actually of my little man and then his grandma. And we, that weekend, we went to the wetlands here where I live, and we rode his bike and just kind of walked around and enjoyed the beautiful weather we just so happened to be having at that time. So I'm kind of playing around here to see where I think I might want to put these stickers, and I kind of move it all over the place. That's kind of how I am. I'm a perfectionist in a sense, so I want my stickers and my titles to all be pleasing to my eye. I know that not everybody is like that, and that is a good characteristic, but I can't ever seem to stop when I'm looking to make something sit perfectly. So I drive myself crazy with making sure stickers are on just the way I like them. So now I'm going to go ahead and peel off the backing on my foam square so that I can go ahead and nestle these photos onto my layout. You'll see that this photo on the right side, I'm actually tucking inside my cut file a bit so that it adds a little extra dimension and character to not only the top of my photo, but the layout in general. So I'm going to push that down there, and that photo is all set with my title. I'm going to come in and do the same with this second photo here. And as per usual, speaking of perfectionist, coming back in with my fingernails and pulling that top part of my title back off so that I can get it closer to that chipboard piece, excuse me. Now I'm just peeling the back off that chipboard piece, and I'm going to nestle it right in the middle there to complete my title of Fabulous Weekend Together. Now I am coming in with these fabulous little epoxy dots, and the title at the top is Cozy Time, but they match my color scheme here, and I know that on my opposite page I'm going to use a bit more green than I did on this one, so I'm just kind of blending that in so that both sides of my spread are going to be very cohesive. You'll notice that I am going to cut this one in half because there's only a few of those green dots, and I really wanted to have 3, so I'm going to tuck a half here and tuck a half on the other side. Oh, and now I've reached the point in the spread where I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do, so you'll see me flip through here. I guess it's as good as time of any to ask how you guys are doing. I know that the past couple of months have been really difficult for me personally and physically. I had some physical issues, and so I know that my friends have had some similar stories. And I just finally feel like life is getting back to normal, not only because of COVID and precautions, but, you know, the sun is finally coming out and my body is finally feeling back to normal. So I don't know, I can't even explain it. When the sun finally comes back out again, I revert back to the person that I feel like I am, and it feels wonderful. You know, even this spread here is making me happy because it feels very spring to me, and it finally is spring outside, and that is just such a blessing to me. And there's just so much more fun for me as far as sitting down at my craft desk. I have more fun sitting here and having the birds chirp out the window and the sun being so bright outside. It just makes everything in life better as far as I'm concerned. So I really hope that you guys, wherever you are getting good weather as well, and that it's helping bring some inspiration to your craft desks. So here I've pulled out a piece of patterned paper that has these fun tags on it, and I'm just going in and I'm fussy cutting around the edge. And I've decided that I'm going to use this little green tag for my journaling. So I'm cutting around here. And if you notice, this little tag has a little circle like tab on the edge of it, and I think I'm going to use one of those circle chipboard stickers to place over that circle so that I can add a little more dimension to that little piece and to my layout overall. Now I'm gonna pull out my sewing machine here. That way I can put a nice little stitching detail onto that tag. Okay, now that I've got that stitched down, I'm just playing around with where I want it to sit, and I decided that I like it just a tad under my right side photo. So now I'm gonna grab some foam squares and then pop that up just a bit so it'll be level with the photo that I'm placing it under. Now I'm going to go in with my black pen here, just write some corresponding journaling. This one's just talking about how I feel amazingly blessed to be able to spend time with these two people and that they enjoy being outside just like me. Not so much grandma, but my little man is very active and we spend a lot of time outside regardless of the season. And I love that he loves being outside and being active with me. So it's a little sentiment to just kind of describe that feeling.
Dream in color, you're black and white, and I prefer the country, your city lights.
All right, so that pretty much finishes up this guy. Signature me. I'm gonna pull my my little palette and a paintbrush and just slap on some black paint splatters. I really love the way that brings together any black that you might have used on your layout together, so it kind of creates this cohesive look, and I'm a big fan of that. Here I just sprayed a little water into this little palette that I've used before, so there's already some black in there. I'm using my water brush, I'm just getting it nice and wet and fluid and just tapping on my brush to get some nice little black splatters here.
But you've taken a chance on me. Now we're building bridges as far as the eye can see.
I'm going to set that guy aside so that he can dry, and I'm going to get started on my right side of my spread here. Now I've just taken the same background paper that I used on the left side, but for this one I turned it upside down so that the opposite colors are on the other side. And now I'm gonna pull out my paper trimmer here, and what I'm kind of known for is taking striped papers and cutting them down into their colors and then stitching them back onto the paper. So that's something I love to do to add dimension and character. So that's something I'm gonna do again here. When I see a striped paper, it's instantly what I think to do. So maybe it's become monotonous for you guys. I don't know, but it's still something that I love, and I love the outcome. So I continue to do it. it's creating for me, and I love that you guys are involved, but sometimes, you know, if something just makes you happy, you can do it over and over and over again. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. So I'm just trimming a little excess off of this so that they're all even. I think I'm going to go back in a minute and trim those down just a tad bit more, maybe like 1/8 of an inch off each side, so that whatever paper I choose here, you'll see a bit more of that. I think I want to go with something green. So I don't know, I kind of like this hexagon, you know, honeycomb pattern, but then green is kind of what I have my heart set on. So I think I'm gonna go with this green polka dot one. So I'm just lining my papers back up so that I can see what it's gonna look like. And yes, I am going to trim those color strips down just a bit so that I can get a bit more of that pretty polka dot paper to peek through after I've stitched those pieces on. Okay, so I have got those trimmed down, and now it's just time to get some of my glue here and just kind of adhere them down where I want them to be just a bit so that they'll stay put before I run them through my sewing machine. So I've got those all adhered down, and now I'm going to pull my sewing machine back out, and what I am going to do is just stitch a line down each of the color strips. So what you're then going to be able to do is to fluff up the sides of each one of your stripe strips, and then you'll be able to tuck things in or, you know, rough up the edges for extra dimension and character. There's so much you can do when you create with these striped papers, and it's one of my favorite things, and so I just really hope you guys enjoy it. I hope it inspires you to do the same. Alright, now that I have got my stitching done here, there's a line down the middle. I'm just going in and kind of twirling up those loose threads. That way they're not super long and they all are kind of unique and different next to the paper. I am going to start fluffing up those edges just like we talked about. And actually, I am going to roughen up the edges as well with the tip of my scissors. This is a fun little trick, especially for thin paper. It makes it super easy to add some extra character to anything that maybe the backs of photos or the edges of your scrapbook layouts. And I love this. I think a lot of scrapbookers do this, so it's not new or ingenious, but it is something that I love occasionally. So I'm going to do it here on all of these layers. Okay, I have finished up fluffing the edges and roughing them up with my scissors there. I just love this page paired with my left hand page, and it just makes such a beautiful pair as far as I'm concerned. So now I've splashed on a few more drops to match the other side. Now I think I'm going to add some chipboard stickers, I think maybe to the front sides of those paper strips, just some coordinating sentiments. This is the point in the project where I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I'm just going to kind of go with the flow. Excuse me, I cannot talk today. So here I'm adding this little enjoy, playing around where I think I want it to go. Stick that guy there for now. And then I'm going to pull this other sentiment that says, take it easy, which is exactly what we're doing here on the weekend. And now I'm flipping through my paper pack because I remember seeing some of these tags, and I know they will be perfect for stuffing into those now slotted pockets here. So I'm going to fussy cut a few of those. That way I can slide them into my paper strips.
Ending up here, ending up with me. You could have gone anywhere, been anyone. You stole my heart like
Right, now that I have got that all cut out, I have punched a hole with my crocodile. And now I'm going to go in and pick a coordinating grommet or eyelet, whichever you choose to call it. I'll pick this orange one here. And snap it onto my tag here, just for a little added interest and dimension to an otherwise light, paper. And this is kind of like a heavy, nice embellishment that'll look really nice on this part of the spread. That way I can add a little extra character. I'm just trimming it down here so that it fits perfectly inside my little half of my paper that's trimmed here. I think I'll add my date onto that tag in just a bit. I'll go through here and pick this pink tag. I think I'll stop it too. It will be a good number for this side of my spread. So I'm just going to repeat that process as I did before and pick out a different eyelet to go into this hole here.
so I'll stay here with you for the rest of my nights. You're not much for taking chances, but you've taken a chance on me. And now we're building bridges as far as the eye can
Okay, now I am just arranging that top one where I like it, and I fit the bottom one into the bottom green strip of paper because I like the contrasting pink there. I am going to move things just around a bit, just figure out what I want it to look like, where I want these epoxy dots, or I just need something else, but I can't quite decide what it is, so I'm just going to play around here.
But you've taken a chance on me. Now we're building bridges as far as the eye can see. And I never thought I'd find anything close to all that I knew you would be. Ain't it beautiful? Darling,
All right, I am coming in with some yellow baker's twine, and I'm going to add that to my punched eyelet here. That way I'll add even more bits of interest to this side of the spread. It'd be perfect for pulling out to see what's written on it or what date is on it if I decide to not adhere it down, which I think I will adhere the ends of my tags down just because I don't really want them to be functional on this layout. It's really just a place for me to add a sentiment or my date. So I'll probably adhere the ends down below those strips of paper with some glue in just a bit. Alright, and I'm just fluffing up a little bit here and there to get it really the way that I want it to look. But that is it. I have adhered down those tags and stamped on my date. And I just love the way these two pages look together. It's a really excellent spread. I love the clear sticker over this cut file on that gorgeous grid yellow paper from Studio 40. And then just all the little embellishments that I created with the paper pad. I'm very smitten with this striped paper, and I know I'll be using it again. I hope that both of these pages in this spread inspired you, and I can't wait to see what you create.